What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pick Six Podcast. Early Week 8 line look ahead. I'm Brinson, John Breech. We're going to break down some of the odds and best bets for Week 8 for you right now. We got a whole big list of games, so let's dive right in, Breech, and we will start with Thursday Night Football. Oh, man, what a premier game this is between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. The Panthers are actually playing pretty well. They almost beat the New Orleans Saints. Were not for Joey Slye being unable to make a 65-yard field goal. Grow up, Joey. And they are -3. The over-under is 51 in this game. What do you think here?
Well, I think that's fitting that Halloween's around the corner because this is definitely a horror show of a football game that we're going to be watching between the Panthers and the Falcons. Look, you know what's funny is that I actually like the way the Panthers have been playing this year. As you said, they almost beat the Saints. They've got a few pretty good wins. And this is a team that I think a lot of us thought they were going to be last place in the NFC South. Well, guess what? The joke's on the Falcons because they're the ones who are actually in last place. And you know what? The last time these two teams played back in Week 5, I thought the Panthers kind of manhandled Atlanta, and that's the game that eventually led to Dan Quinn getting fired. I don't think a lot has changed. If anything, I think the Panthers have gotten a little bit better because they've adjusted to more to not having Christian McCaffrey, who might be back for this game, which is going to make the Panthers even better. So, Brinson, I'm taking the Panthers to cover here.
Yeah, I love the Panthers in this spot. I'm not sure why the line isn't bigger, to be perfectly honest. Carolina has been a much better team. They've been playing much better football. They have, I don't know if they have more talent. They have a better defense, I think, even with some of the injuries they've dealt with. And I think they've got a better coach in Matt Rule somehow already. No offense to Raheem Morris. I mean, Dan Quinn just got fired. So, yeah, I'll take the Panthers -3. I would guess this actually might get to like 4 or 5. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. One of the things that Carolina's pass defense has actually been decent, and the Falcons insist on like running Todd Gurley a bunch. Carolina already beat him once there. I like Carolina in this spot. I would probably take the over at 51, but it is a Thursday night. That's a lot of points, and we've seen Carolina sort of slow things down, so I might pass on that. But I will absolutely take the Panthers in that spot. The Patriots are heading to Buffalo, Breech, and for the first time in a long, long, long time, the Bills are more than a field goal favorite over Bill Belichick. The Patriots played awful and getting routed at home against the 49ers on Sunday, and the Bills snuck by the frisky, as frisky as a corpse can be, the frisky New York Jets. Bills -4, over under 46.
Look, Brinson, the Patriots looked like garbage on Sunday. No one is going to deny that. But here's the thing that scares me about this game. Josh Allen is 0-3 in his career against the Patriots. Sean McDermott, as a head coach for the Bills, is 0-6 in his career against the Patriots. And I don't know that I want to put money on a team to cover 4 points if they've never beaten New England. It's one of those things, until you get that monkey off your back, there's just kind of that black cloud hanging over you that you just can't get rid of. And the other thing here is you look at the Bills, they're not blowing out teams. 3 of their 5 wins have been by a field goal, and the 2 that weren't were against the Jets, who they only beat by 8 and 10 points. And to be honest, the Bills just haven't really impressed me the past 3 weeks. They got blown out twice. They barely beat the Jets. I actually like the Patriots to cover this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick them to win. I'm still feeling that out. I wonder who their starting quarterback's going to be. Cam Newton might be benched. Who knows? But until Josh Allen or Sean McDermott prove that they can beat the Patriots, I don't think there's going to be a blowout here.
Yeah, Bill Belichick actually came out and said that Cam is absolutely the starter for New England anyway. So we should be safe there. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a football team, football coach. People tell fibs all the time immediately after games, so you never know what happens. I would expect he starts. I agree with you. I like the Patriots here. They're getting points, and this is a prime buy low spot on New England. I mean, they just got thrashed by San Francisco. People and like all the you know who they are. Like the Cam haters are coming out like, oh, where's everybody who was saying what a great start Cam was off to now? Where are they now? It's like, all right, we get it. You're preening. It's we get it. You're peacocking. There's no need for it. The Bills defense is not good. They haven't been playing well. Josh Allen has taken a noticeable step back in the last 2 weeks. I think Bill Belichick will cook up a scheme for him. I know they don't have Tom Brady to take care of business and be motivated, but I think this team will be excited to try and take the Bills down a notch and to gain a critical game in this division. So I will take the Patriots. I also like the under a lot here. 46 is a big number, and neither defense is outstanding, but these Patriots-Bills games just tend to go under. So I will take the under in that spot. A historic number of sorts here. The Chiefs minus 21 to the Jets. The Chiefs hosting them. I don't know that an over-under has been posted quite yet. I will look and see if we can find one on William Hill. But what do you think? 21 points. Can you lay 21 points to a Jets team that just managed to cover for the first time all season against the Bills by covering that 10-point spread?
Brinson, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea how to even evaluate this game because 21 points is such a monstrous spread. We've seen it happen 13 times since the merger where a team was favored by 20 points or more. And the favorite team usually doesn't cover. They're 3-10 against the spread. And those are one of those things that you kind of take into consideration when a team is favored by this much. And let's not forget, this kind of feels like it could be the Jets Super Bowl where, hey, if we can upset the Chiefs or even just get close, that's a moral victory for us. But you know what? There is no circumstance where I am ever going to bet on the New York Jets. So I am absolutely going to take the Chiefs to cover this number. And one thing I like is that they struggled offensively in Denver. Patrick Mahomes and the offense put up under 300 yards. And so I kind of feel like they're going to have that little chip on their shoulder going in, proving their offense still works. And I expect a monstrous day from Le'Veon Bell because Andy Reid seems like a guy who will put Le'Veon Bell on the field as often as possible so he can rush for 200 yards or total 200 yards, just put up big numbers. So I like the Chiefs to cover. I
think the Le'Veon Bell call is a fantastic one. And I would anticipate this is why I would sort of lean towards the Chiefs is I don't think that and I don't love it by any stretch of the imagination, but Le'Veon Bell got 6 carries, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire only had 8 in the game on Sunday in week 6. So it's very possible that what we see is a heavy, heavy dose of Le'Veon Bell in a revenge spot, especially in the second half. So to let Helaire rest, I think that I will probably blindly take the under here, regardless of what it is, if it's anywhere north of 45, which I would guess it is because the spread is 21. And I just think you're not going to see the Chiefs score. You're not going to see the Jets score a whole lot of points. And the Chiefs are going to lean on the run game a ton to try and snuff out the Jets and get out of Dodge with a win. I think they'll take some shots down the field with Patrick Mahomes. Again, I don't feel good about 21, but I'm with you. I'm just not taking the Jets. I'm not taking the Jets. I know they covered for the first time this season. That's not going to lead me into taking them. I also think this could probably come down into like the 19.5 range or something like that. I don't think it'll actually close at 21, but we shall see. The Steelers at the Ravens, and this is kind of a shocking number, Breech. The Ravens are favored by 6 points here. Baltimore, coming off its bye, favored by nearly a touchdown over the division rival Pittsburgh Steelers. The over-under is 49.
Yeah, Brinson, I thought this was the most surprising point spread of week 8. Look, I think that we both expected the Ravens to be favored. They are coming off the bye, but 6 points is insane. Baltimore, yes, they swept the Steelers last season, but that was with 2019 NFL MVP Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is not playing at an MVP level this year. And you know who is? Everybody on the Steelers roster. They've looked so good, and they looked even better against the Titans. The defense has played well all season. I feel like the offense has slowly been putting it together, and then they ended up playing really well in Tennessee in that 27-24 win. So I was just absolutely shocked by this number. I'm going to take the Steelers in the 6 points because I just feel like it is free money.
I'm floored by this number. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think the Steelers have to be an immediate best bet. By the way, 6-0 on my best bets for the Pick 6 podcast this week. Cha-ching! And I don't know if our parlay hit. I think we have one more thing going. But maybe we got 2 or 3. Anyway, my point being is that I'm warm, and I'm going to ride the Steelers here. This is crazy. There is no reason why they should be 6-point underdogs to the Ravens. What the Ravens do best is run the football. What the Steelers do best on defense is stop the run. You have to be able to go up top on the Steelers defense in order to score points in them. I don't think the Ravens will do that. I think they would like to be a little more methodical in terms of how they'll play it. 49 is also, I don't know if it's a huge number. I could actually see that going over, but I do think that I love the Steelers here. This is a rivalry where for years you could just take the team who is the dog and then, like the whoever wins by a field goal. I don't see this game. I mean, the Steelers almost beat the freaking Ravens last year with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges. Like, I think there's a decent chance the Steelers could win this game outright. Give me Pittsburgh in this spot, although I'll be rooting for the Ravens because I have a bet with Pete Prisco over who wins the division for the year. 49ers at the Seahawks. 49ers coming off a huge win. They go to Foxborough, take care of business against the Patriots, just manhandled them in Jimmy Garoppolo's revenge game. The Seahawks play on Sunday night, looking very sharp. Russell Wilson continuing his MVP campaign. Do you think that the Seahawks are a good value here at home, only laying 3.5?
Yeah, this does seem like a low number, but I kind of like the way the 49ers are playing right now, and I think that's why it is a low number. It's almost like that 43-17 blowout loss to the Dolphins was just kind of a kick in the butt, like Kyle Shanahan saying, all right, I need to get serious here because we just got blown out by the Dolphins. And what we've seen is he's put together kind of two pretty brilliant offensive game plans the past 2 weeks. That, you know, they crushed the Rams, they crushed the Patriots, and neither of those teams could slow down what the 49ers were trying to do. You know, the Rams are a team with Aaron Donald. Bill Belichick is a genius defensively, and the Patriots couldn't do anything to slow down the 49ers. And you know what? The Seahawks defense gives up yards. It gives up points. And so I think we're going to see a shootout here. I like the over, and I think I'm kind of going with the 49ers to cover. One thing I really like is that they are 7-0 against the spread as an underdog since the beginning of last season. So I think I'm going to roll with that one and take San Francisco.
And one of the other things about this spread, and I think most people, the public, will largely be on Seattle as well, but I tend to side with you, Breech, and take San Francisco here if it's 3.5. Because for as much as I think Seattle will be able to score and do whatever they want because they're just good on offense, like I don't think San Francisco defense is actually playing really well. I don't think they're going to just lock down Russell Wilson, though. That would be really surprising. But you know what's definitely not going to happen? The Seahawks playing any defense at all. Their defense isn't any good. Their defense is terrible, and you can throw on them. And I think that Kyle Shanahan will scheme up ways to get Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk open. They do need to get Tevin Coleman back because Jeff Wilson left with an injury as well on Sunday in week 6. So like they've got these stable of backs, but these guys just keep getting hurt. So if Tevin Coleman can come back, I think you feel good about that. And you hope that they just keep it close. Like I would just be surprised if the Seahawks just completely blew them out. I would bet good money that the 49ers find their way into RJ White's teaser column, because if you can get the 49ers up to like 10 or so in a teaser, you're feeling pretty good about that. The Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles is Sunday Night Football. Wow, NFL, you really couldn't flex this out. You had to give us these two crap teams on our primetime television. It'll be jokes galore. The ha-has will flow. The yucks will run freely. Eagles minus 3.5 over under 43.5, Breech.
Brinson, I'm telling you, it's Halloween weekend. They're just giving us the scariest games, trying to scare us off from watching. We already talked Falcons-Panthers. Now we're talking Eagles-Cowboys. Brinson, I have a big announcement to make, actually. I'm off the Cowboys bandwagon.
Wow! Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Breech is out on the Cowboys.
I've been pushing them. I thought Andy Dalton taking over. I thought they were going to be good, and I have given
Turns out it may not have been a blessing in disguise to have Andy Dalton.
Look, man, they've been absolutely horrible the past 2 weeks. That manhandled by Washington. Washington manhandled them, and I don't really see that. I don't think they're going to win very many games the rest of the season, let alone in Philadelphia in prime time. I know the Eagles are dealing with a lot of injuries, but as long as Carson Wentz is healthy, I think he's going to dice up this Cowboys defense, probably score 30 or more points, and Dallas just doesn't have the firepower to keep up anymore. And one thing I will say is that, look, the Cowboys are the only team in the NFL that has not covered the spread one time this season, and Mike McCarthy is 0-9-1 against the spread in his past 10 games as a coach. So I'm betting against the Cowboys. I'm betting against Mike McCarthy. Our producer Debo will love to hear it. I am taking the Eagles.
I'm slamming the Eagles too. I mean, 3.5, get out of town, man. This is free money. The Cowboys are awful. And there's a chance that I bet this line will be hard to find for a little bit because we don't even know if Andy Dalton will play. The one thing we do know about Andy Dalton, and I'm not joking about this or like saying this to make fun of you or disparage Andy Dalton, just he's not very good when he gets pressured. And if he doesn't have a good offense, all the weapons in the world don't, what's that?
Or in prime time.
Or, oh my God, it's Andy Dalton in prime time, and he's only getting 3.5, and it might not even be Andy Dalton. It might be a third stringer. If Andy Dalton has no offensive line and is playing against a team with a good pass rush and a good defensive line, which the Eagles have, that's like their one strength. The only group that's been healthy for them all year is their defensive line, and they can get after people. This is a terrible spot for Andy Dalton. This line should be closer to 8 or 9, honestly. Like, the Eagles could absolutely blow them out in the spot, and I don't think people are giving the Cowboys enough credit just for how bad they really are. All right, finally, Buccaneers at the Giants. God, this is a scary primetime slate. That's the Monday night game. Yikes.com. Tom Brady in New York. Buccaneers minus 10.5, coming off a blowout win over the Raiders, where they were like, it was close, and then all of a sudden they just were beating them by 20 points. The over-under 48, Breech.
Yeah, this does look like a big point spread. Tampa going on the road, favored by double digits. But you look what the Buccaneers have done over the past few weeks. I mean, they destroyed the Packers. They came out on Sunday and destroyed the Raiders. Both those teams are good teams. And also, 4 of Tampa's 5 wins have been by double digits. So they don't just beat you when they beat you. They absolutely destroy you and just kill your morale. And so I kind of expect to see more of the same on Monday. Tom Brady's out there throwing dimes against the Raiders. If Brady catches fire, we already know that Tampa defense is good. And if the offense is putting up points, you're not going to beat them, and you're probably going to lose by a lot. And that's kind of what I expect to see here. So I like Tampa to cover that 10.5, even though it's a gigantic number on the road in prime time.
Yeah, you don't feel good laying 10.5 with a team in prime time on the road. You know, that's like the stock is as high as it can possibly get. Everybody's out on the Giants because of how bad they are. It does feel like a legitimate trap spot. Having said that, I will also take Tampa. Like, they're on a vengeance tour. They are slaughtering people left and right. They're putting up big numbers with their offense. They didn't take their foot off the gas against the Raiders and just kept throwing bombs down the field. Brady is dialed in. He had 5 total touchdowns, I believe, on Sunday against Oakland, against Las Vegas. Every week for the rest of time, I'm probably going to do that. And in reality, the Giants just are not good. Now, they actually can kind of stop the run a little bit. Their defense is maybe not as bad as we think. They're not slowing down Tom Brady in primetime. He's going to light them up. He wants – add in the fact that the Patriots are struggling right now, and I think it's more motivation for Tom Brady to have the Buccaneers put up big scores and to win games by a ton and to really beat up on people, because it shows the world that's like, hey, look, you can say whoever you want. We're like, we all know Bill's a great coach. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. So I think that Tom Brady will be motivated to keep scoring a ton of points, and I will take the Buccaneers.
One more thing, Brinson. I will say the only way the Buccaneers are going to lose is if Antonio Brown somehow goes in there, blows up team chemistry in 24 hours, which we can't rule out.
Right, we can't rule out anything happening with it, or like they all get COVID from Antonio Brown or something like that. I might even lean a little bit towards that under. I could see the Buccaneers pounding the ball in the second half and eating up a ton of clock there. 48 is the total. All right, that'll do it for the Week 8 look ahead for John Breech. I'm Will Brinson. See you guys later.